Do you have any pressing sports news? There was one big coach firing in the NFL. I don't know.
Who?
Don't act like you don't know. Are we trying to break news? We're not breaking news to them. It happened 5 days ago. Everyone knows that Urban.
We're talking about Urban.
Everyone knows that Urban got canned. Yeah, he seemed like some of the stuff that came out about him, man.
I'll be honest with you. You watch, I think it's on ESPN. The ESPN, like, I don't know what the Sunday countdown, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Rex Ryan, Randy Moss, those guys.
I like Rex Ryan.
Rex went off on Urban Meyer. It was absolutely beautiful.
What was he saying?
He went on about, this would be a good one. You know how you patched in the...
You want me to see if I can find it? Well, you describe it, and then I'll...
So he went nuts saying how I believe Urban might have called him.
Really?
Back when he was potentially going to take this job. I guess maybe to get Rex's advice here.
I thought maybe to hire him as a D coordinator.
No. And then I guess Rex said that he was essentially on record saying that Urban wasn't going to cut it. And he kind of went off on college coaches compared to NFL coaches. It was pretty impressive and pretty stern. Really kind of caught me off guard because it's one of those conversations you don't anticipate being on live TV in that setting. That's kind of, especially on like ESPN, where you're taking that hard of a stance, where ESPN wants to make everybody happy and not toe the line, but not necessarily piss everybody off. And did you get it or no?
It's like a 9-minute clip. I'm trying to get to Rex Ryan. They're just so.
Oh.
But I get that. But I also feel like, TV, it's about ratings. So when you have when you could turn on the NFL Network, right, and you have a guy like Steve Smith absolutely burying, it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, Baker Mayfield, right? Did you see that clip?
No.
Where he just Baker Mayfield stinks. He's average. He's not good. Like on a pregame, and I'm like, well, I love Steve Smith. Like, I'd be more apt, and I'm sure you're the same way, I'd be more apt to watch a show like that with Rex Ryan, rip it, like telling it how it is. I don't want you to sugarcoat it.
Right, but I guess what I'm saying is ESPN and all these networks have those types of niche shows already. Mm-hmm. It kind of caught me off guard that this particular show is where Rex aired these sentiments, because it's always kind of like the feel-good stories of the NFL, and he went right for his jugular.
All right, so I don't know if this is. They were 2:15 in a 9-minute. Rex Ryan's about to start, so was it his initial when they first?
I don't know.
Every week that Urban Meyer wasn't ready for the men's league. Now that you've seen
right after this,
happened,
this is it.
Why do you think it went down this way?
Well, because he has no experience that way. This is the best of the best. And when it's not just the best players, it's the best
that
coaches
video in, right there.
in the country. There's only 32 of these jobs right here. Don't come into this league if you're going to get crushed. And that's what happens to these college guys. These college guys, it's funny. Urban Meyer, I talked with Urban Meyer when he got the job. He said, well, explain it. Why? I said, because it's the grind. It's the work. It's the work you got to put in. That's what they're putting in going across you. It's not that you're just playing Alabama every week, which is the case. He didn't listen. I knew he wasn't listening. All right, he told me about recruiting. I go, recruiting? That's a picnic.
Recruiting.
Like you're going to go talk to a kid and talk about football, talk to their parents, and have a meal and all that type of stuff. Great. I'm talking about the grind. I'm talking about your job as an NFL coach is to put your players in the best position possible to be successful. That's your job. You want to see what a player's coach is? That's a player's coach. They respect that. They respect your work ethic. All right? You're there in the office 3-4 times a week. All right? Not taking a phone call from some kid and thinking that's work. All right? I knew he'd get out coached. He did. All right? Go back to college where you belong. And I'm sorry. Look, I respect him as a college football coach. But I knew this was going to happen. And for people to say, oh, I called it. I told you so. Guess what? I was right again. Okay, why? Because I've been around this game all my life. Those are the guys you ought to be looking at if you're an owner. Hire somebody that's been around this game all his life. That's what you ought to be looking for, and somebody that can relate to a motivating them.
Yeah, you got the point.
So
I love it.
Me too. I really enjoy Rex Ryan. Let's be honest, 100% trying to pitch himself like he wants to be. I'm pretty sure he said he wants to be a head coach. Like, but he wants to get back into the league.
I don't know. I'd be more with you to say he might have a guy in mind that he's on the back end trying to get a job for.
Yeah, I don't know
about him though.
I think he wants to give it another go, but I mean, it makes sense. He's not wrong.
No,
like when you coach at a top-notch program like a Ohio State, a Alabama, a LSU, like right there, how many schools do you really have to go up against to recruit a kid? Like
not even necessarily recruit a kid too, but you're not playing the best of the best week in and week out.
That too, but even
preparing.
But you're not preparing. Yeah, it's easy. Like when you're just going to out athlete teams, and now it's going to be even worse with NIL. With NIL stuff, it's going to be even worse. Now, granted, are there coaches that have done it and did it well? Like Pete Carroll, granted, he was NFL, went to college, had a good run at USC, pretty good NFL coach, has a Super Bowl. Nick Saban, I think he gets a bad rap. Like he gets always brought up into like stuff like this when a guy like Urban Meyer flames out, or someone who goes from college. Like Matt Rule's probably going to get fired. You know, he'll probably end up back in college. And Nick Saban always gets brought up. Nick Saban, before he left Miami, was 8-8.
Right.
Nick Saban, I think I heard someone say Nick Saban, when the Dolphins did not get Drew Brees.
That's when he jumped ship.
That's when he's like, and they ended up with Dante Culpepper.
Right.
Like he knew. But I think if Saban stuck it out, because he is a Bill Belichick. Like he's not. They were saying Urban Meyer was leaving the facility at 6 o'clock.
Right.
His assistants were there.
Right.
And he was leaving at 6 o'clock. Or the best, there was the story where he was going around in the team meetings or whatever, allegedly. We'll call, I don't think we're getting sued. We have like 32 listeners, but allegedly was going around to his assistant coaches, be like, what have you ever won in your coaching career? Coaches that he hired. Like I didn't know Charlie Strong was on his staff. Charlie Strong had a bunch of college head coach, like big time college coach. Texas, Louisville, going around. What have you won? Have you ever won anything? Have you ever done anything? And calling them like losers and putting them down in front of the like players.
Really?
And stuff. Yeah.
This guy's a clown.
And like he kicked his kicker.
Yeah.
That they ended up cutting, and he's like, the guy's like, don't ever kick me again. I'm the head coach. I'll kick you whenever the F I want. Like, so it's a 30-some-year-old man. Like he'll fight you.
Right.
He'll kill you.
Right.
Like this ain't college. An 18-year-old kid like could beat you up, but is not going to
be
because
intimidated by you because of scholarship and all that kind of stuff.
If they have NFL dreams, like they're not going to step to you.
Correct.
Josh Lambo made money. You know, granted he was a kicker,
he's
but
probably making more than Urban.
He ain't. Yeah. He's a kicker. He's not making more than Urban, but Urban was making like $6.5 a year. But
yeah, he didn't last a year.
Yeah, but they probably still have to pay him out. They're going to have to pay.
They're saying they're trying to show cause.
Yeah, but if they don't have cause, they're going to. I think they signed him for 10 years or something. He's going to be like John Gruden. They're going to have to pay him.
Yeah.
To sit, and he made it 13 games. He might have messed Trevor Lawrence up forever.
Honest to God.
Honest to God. And I said, as a Florida Gators fan, that 4 years where Urban was at Florida, and got us a couple natties.
All was right in your world.
Urban was great. Urban left. We had this conversation. Urban left, said, he had brain leakage or something, and I need to watch my daughters grow up. All right, health concerns, need to watch my daughters grow up. A year later, he was coaching at Ohio State. Leaves Ohio State, health concerns. On TV for 2 years, takes an NFL job. Urban Meyer, in my book, hey, appreciate the 2 natties. scumbag, just like Brian Kelly, or just like he's in that book, Brian Kelly, scumbag. Like, you think he's gonna get a college job? You think some team's gonna hire him? Like, if he wants to, he's not getting a big time program. He's gonna have to be like Rick Pitino, and he's gonna be coaching FCS or the worst team in the American Conference. Like, that's where Urban Meyer's gonna have to go. I don't think he's. I think he lost diminished his coaching career. Like, I think he's definitely tainted his coaching career, which he had a great college coaching career, but this was just bad.
Yeah. I saw a meme of some sort, and I believe it was about Notre Dame, but it said something along the lines of the Notre Dame job wouldn't be the only thing that fell in Urban's lap this year.